Hi everyone, if you like what I do, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and consider checking out my Patreon. Enjoy the video. While the corruption and crimson are seen as the most prevalent scourges of Terraria, in its own way, Valhalla was just as insidious, for behind the veil of its fantastical vistas lies a vicious touch that would taint any that came into contact with it. There is one though, whose corrosive influence was enough to transform even the lowliest beings into something altogether different. It made them royalty amongst their kind, a lesser god of the hollow, and mother to a generation of creatures unlike anything that had come before, eventually spawning something so regal and resplendent that it would vie for control over the hollow itself, a hallowed god incarnate. By the lizards long ago, however, the terrain can be extremely dangerous. Right, time to die. Across the whole of Terraria there was one single constant. Wherever travellers may venture, whatever corner of the world they find themselves in, there will always be the slimes. This is no different in the deeper recesses, far beneath the surface and even down to the burning lakes of the underworld. Within the damp caverns of the underground though, in places seldom seen by anyone other than the most hardy of explorers, resides one who would change the course of history for all slimes. Within the dark pools lay the spawning grounds of the mother slimes, ones who would birth their young through the act of mitosis, the splitting of their engorged bodies into yet more of their kind. From here the young would venture out into the world, travelling far and wide, adapting to whatever environment they found themselves in. Of course, some would remain in the spawning pools, feasting on the vermin of the caverns, and perpetuating the cycle. In time the slimes would grow and change, evolving into almost every being known to Terraria. Even when cosmic disasters befell their world, and alien tendrils crept across the land, the slimes adapted. Occasionally a mother slime would leave their pools, but more often than not their bulk would make them easy targets for predators, although once in a while one would make it to the surface and feast on the abundant life there, foregoing its reproduction to become a king, at that time greatest of all the slimes. Otherwise the cycle would continue as it had for countless generations. That was until the great light was unleashed upon the world, instantly creating the hollow and reconstituting its great empress along with it. Like with all other environments, the slimes that found themselves in the hollow tried to adapt, the underground giving rise to the bioluminescent variant, and the prismatic light of the surface, forming the colour-changing rainbow slime. It was only a matter of time though, before one of the stray mother slimes, from deep below, found their way to this new world. At first she would stumble into the subterranean hollow, attempting to consume the crystals that line the walls, only to find that she could not digest them, before following the seams ever upwards towards the surface. Upon emerging into the brilliant light, the slime did as all her wayward counterparts did, and began to consume all she could, growing ever larger in size, but within her gelatinous mass still remained the crystal shards she had consumed underground. It was not long before this interloper was noticed by the Empress, who did not look kindly upon it devouring her ecosystem, and deemed the creature must be destroyed. Appearing to the massive slime in all her glory, the Empress unleashed her great power, and bathed the hollow in her ethereal radiance. Any other creature not of her land would have instantly succumbed to the assault, but the slime was different, changed by the crystals it had consumed. Activated by the Empress's assault, the crystal shards organized and interlocked within the slime to become a single prismatic gem. In that moment, the entity that had once been a lost mother slime became a creature of the hollow and transformed into the vibrant queen slime. While bewildered at how the slime before her had been able to survive, the Empress now saw it as one of her own and could not bring herself to attack it further, allowing it to survive where so many others had not. It was an inaction that may very well come to haunt the Empress, for the Queen felt a renewed instinct and knew exactly what it must do. Instinctively knowing that she was unique and far more powerful than even the king slimes, she desired to replicate her distinctiveness and become mother to a new lineage of slimes that would supplant their weaker brethren. Examining her own altered biology, she isolated the different traits she now possessed and budded parts of herself off to become crystal and bouncy slimes. But upon further introspection, she discovered that she was capable of so much more, including an accelerated metamorphosis akin to the evolution usual slimes underwent. But instead of taking generations, she was able to alter her own being to manifest items and appendages of her choosing. First, she materialized the crown to show that she matched the status of the Empress of Light, before learning how to sprout wings so that she may rival the Fae in her own arena, going on to create yet more young with this new ability. She was not yet strong enough to challenge the mighty Empress, however. In fact, she may never be, but maybe she could create one who was. The the Queen Slime would continue to examine the ways in which the crystals had changed her, and just how far she could push her abilities, while planning the next generation. For as unique as they were, she realised that the slimes she had spawned thus far were simply expressions of what she had already become. She needed more, and to push towards her goals, she'd budded portions of her own slime around the underground crystals she had once consumed, hoping that a mutation may occur that would cause the resultant offspring to be even more powerful than even she was. She would defend the gelatin crystals fiercely, attacking anything that dared to damage them, for they were effectively her eggs, and although it may take many lifetimes of her descendants repeating this process, one day a slime may be created that could rival the Empress of Light, and wrest control of the Hollow away from her. The ultimate form of life spawned from the most basic, the god of all slimes. Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked what you saw, then please consider liking the video, subscribing and sharing it with your friends. If you want to support the channel even more, then head over to Patreon, become a channel member, or buy some merch. Links are all down in the description. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time.